Come on now, all you haters cry, because this is us all day, every day. We're on top right now.
Yeah, so when even Astrid Wett is reacting like that, that's when you know it might be quite bad. So you might have heard of egirls, you know, you probably have. It's not that esoteric of a concept. It used to kind of just be a title you gave people. But at this rate, it's kind of turned into quite a serious problem. And in America, at least, you know, it's a big place. There's quite a lot of open space. The problem, at least with that in mind, is quite distributed. But in England, we can't say the same thing. It's so small that there is nowhere to run. And with that in mind, basically, anybody that comes up on TikTok in the UK, they will fall victim to at least one egirl, and the outcome, it's never good.
So your male friends will...
Yeah.
What's the term? Shag?
Yeah,
Like
shag, yeah.
shag,
A lot of
shag?
shagging.
Now with Beavo, we've spoken about him in the past. I mean, for a man that got famous for eating potatoes in a weird way, I'm not sure how much credibility he even had to lose anyway. But even with that in mind, the guy transitioned from making pretty harmless content into just making straight up brain rot, and it does speak for itself.
Have you always been into like this open dynamic?
Not really, no, until I met this slag here and the whole new world opened up, you know, so yeah, it's been amazing. It's been the best 3 months of my life. So.
Well, at least he's enjoying himself. For now, but I'm actually not lying when I say that relatively, Beavo is actually one of the better ones. To his credit, and there's not much I can say on that front, he does just seem like a lost man, kind of going through the motions of random social media fame. With the other people I'm going to talk about in this video though, the same cannot be said. What the others are doing, on the other hand, is calculated, and with that in mind, it adds a whole new dimension to this whole conversation.
Yeah, she's got the sweetest skin ever. Mwah.
Now, this is General G. I hopefully don't need to tell you myself. He's not an e-girl, he is instead a tool of the e-girls. Basically, this guy's whole existence is just based around being a prop. He will do videos with these e-girls, designed to go viral, obviously. And these videos, in a way, just act as kind of funnels to their OnlyFans.
It's not very avoid General G.
No.
I mean, yeah, you can maybe understand why this stuff goes viral, but again, and I say this a lot, this is one of the nicer videos. Some of these videos, on the other hand, are just downright crimes.
Hey, General.
Yeah.
Look to your left.
If that girl was sat down and General G did that to her, he'd be bundled into the back of a police van in about 20 seconds. And it's obvious to probably everybody why they keep him around. And if you went to school in the UK, you're gonna know that this is like a character archetype. In the UK, we probably have about 100,000 General Gs just running around. They've got different names, but they are the same. And the girl in this video, she knows how true this is, because anytime that anybody with this level of awkwardness pops off, she'll beeline straight for him. There is no time wasted. Now, this guy's name is jacksfitness, and we've done a video on him before, so I'll try keep it brief. Basically, this e-girl has given him the vibe that they're friends, or even more than friends. She's been in a lot of his content, so she has fully profited off his rise, because he was, and still kind of is, doing bits on TikTok. Maybe not for the right reasons, but you know what, they do all count, especially in the UK, because to be perfectly honest, we just are very bored. Yeah, as I said, she butted him up. He eventually did make a move on her, and it is probably as awkward as you would imagine it to be.
What about... what else we saying?
Why are you fucking like...
Yeah, it hurts every time. It really does hurt every time. Again, I've done a full video on this guy. Feel free to go watch it afterwards. Not now, afterwards. But the guy, he has been exploited. It's not a crime to pretend to be someone's friend, but it is very scummy, and it is also very commonplace. And it's with that said that we're going to move on to another perpetrator. Her name is Astrid Wett. You might have heard of her. She also did this with jacksfitness, and while it shouldn't be a surprise, it happened, and it's awkward watching again.
Dinner.
Yeah, that's enough. I think I'll cut off the video there. Jacksfit, though, he actually got off lucky, because the guy we're about to talk about, Cal the Dragon, this was a scandal in the UK, and it didn't end well. Now, you might be able to tell this from the way he moves, but Cal the Dragon, he is quite autistic. And I don't use that as a diss or a way to shame him. I mean, with that in mind, people should be more mindful of how they interact with him. Astrid Wett, though, she saw this in another way. She actually saw this as a way to exploit him. You kind of had to be there, but really, overall, she made him feel like she had feelings for him. Cal the Dragon, I guess at this point, thought he had a chance. And with this in mind, he let her exploit his platform pretty extensively. She used him like a bar of soap until there was nothing left, really. And it probably was one of the most clear-cut examples of exploitation on UK TikTok. Eventually, as they all do, Cal the Dragon did fall off. But rather than just moving on, Astrid Wett had some, like, weird resentment towards him.
Finally! That's what we want! That's what I want to see! Cal's depressed. Chris MD's happy. There we go.
Yeah, That maybe just encapsulates her character perfectly. Cal the Dragon has not been the same since. I mean, he always was just a lad kind of enjoying himself on TikTok. On this channel, we like Cal the Dragon, he's cool. But Astrid, on the other hand, once she'd used him for all he was worth, she quickly moved on to find ways to get lower and lower. She eventually linked up with this other e-girl. Her name is Leah AFC, and the content they're making together, it is another level.
Whoever moves first has to go down on the other person.
Oh, but that's not fair. This box is so heavy.
Yeah, that's the rules.
Now, I don't know what it is about UK blokes over 30, but they just leave comments as if nobody else can see them. These comment sections are just always infested with down bad blokes. And I mean, I guess that is their target audience, but it's a hard watch. It is a hard watch. Now, as all things do in this industry, it eventually did go too far. And considering we're talking about Astrid Wett here, this is quite a statement. They basically went to a football game, and clearly they didn't go there to watch the football. They went there to traumatise kids, and I think the video probably speaks for itself. Now, for your sake, probably don't look him in the eye, because you might turn to stone. Focus on the signs instead, because, yeah, I mean, these might be criminal. They got community noted pretty hard, and I'll read that instead, you know, in the name of neutrality. Leah, an online prostitute, was condemned for sexually harassing England football player Bukayo Saka. She held up a sign demanding acts of pleasure from him, which was in full view of families and young children. If I went to Germany tomorrow with these signs and held them up at the stadium, I would be battered to death probably by the German police, and maybe rightly so. I mean, for the sake of the kids, we will change those signs. These ones, I like them better, personally. I mean, if you've got any more suggestions, leave them down in the comments. But basically, after this happened, rather than apologising or doing a little bit of introspection, these two, for some reason, decided it would be a good idea to play the victim.
I think it's a disgrace that as a woman in 2024, I can't feel safe at a football game, let alone such a huge tournament for our country. Something happened at the game versus Denmark yesterday, and I won't go into too much detail, but I just can't do this anymore.
That's good news. That is actually good news. Kids can now watch the football again. And this, obviously, is rage bait at this point. You know that, and I know that. You know, this is their whole model.
Are people still hating on us? Literally 3 days ago, I done a post asking for the hate to stop, and it's increased tenfold. All we're trying to do is spread positivity.
There is maybe only one way you're making people positive, but you know what? The less said about that, the better. But really, the grift here is worrying, if nothing else. If you've watched any of my videos before, we've done quite a few on like the American OnlyFans girls. Basically, they will use kids' content to funnel people to their OnlyFans pages. In England, it's basically the same principle, but these girls are doing it around football. They will create outrageous content surrounding football, like you've just seen, and from that, they will then funnel people to their OnlyFans, which is crazy.
So to celebrate England getting into the second game of the group, I'd like to give away some free OF subscriptions.
Yeah, I think we're good. You know, just put the fries in the bag, bro. Yeah, at this point, we can, like, retrospectively look back and see that they've done this 4 years. People are now clocking onto this, you know. There's been a couple of huge tweets about Astrid in particular. This one is censored for obvious reasons, but you probably get the picture. She will also just routinely lie to people and get photos, you know, to weave these narratives. Community notes did come in clutch again. Astrid Wett is a known grifter engagement baiter. Friends of the man pictured have now stated that the caption of the pic is a lie. He did not sell the ticket to Astrid Wett, and he had no knowledge the pic would be used with that caption. I think Astrid might have actually denied this one, but the guy definitely did get abuse either way, and it's definitely in character, so really, you can make your own mind up. And it's with that said that we're going to move on to something else again. They made a music video, and unfortunately, it actually does go deeper than just being a bad song. Hopefully she's referring to the signs from earlier, but don't get your hopes up. More importantly, this song was featuring a lad off Twitter called StokeGT. He is an 18-year-old lad that just naps tweets for a living. I mean, obviously, with that in mind, Astrid Wett had to get him involved. Go on, bro. It's not too late. There is more to this. She did a football Twitter smash or pass with him in March, and he didn't turn 18 till May, so make of that what you will. He obviously got a lot of backlash for this. I mean, the song that is. Because Astrid Wett, clearly by this point, is unanimously hated. Who could say why? I have no idea. But either way, he responded by saying, "Do I wish I didn't do the collab? In hindsight, yes. People say you're getting groomed and stuff like that. What does that mean? I'm an 18-year-old kid with no experience. Not run by any management, so I just do what I think in the moment." And you'd think with this that he finally made it out the hood and he did finally realise what was going on. But clearly not, because he was at a football game with her this week. So he is clearly in on this. And you know what? Good luck to him, because he is probably going to need it. But yeah, at the end of this video, this this is a problem that I don't see a solution to anytime soon. There are a countless amount of these girls. There is at least one for every football club in England. It's called zombies, really. We're on round 5 at the moment. This is going to get so much worse. So next time you see someone popping off on UK TikTok, brace yourself, because an ego avalanche is coming. And with that said, I'll leave you with one more thing.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream!
Like and sub, or this is going to be your fate. Probably.